Okay, so it's about time to make another video, I presume. Hopefully we will be able to get this one fixed. One of the nicer mowers I've gotten in, actually a donation, a guy was moving out and gave me a bunch of stuff, including one of them spreaders back there, and also that Echo SRM 230 weed eater, which pretty much all I had to do was put a primer bulb on it, and I'm in the process of getting a head for it. Very easy fix. I usually don't do 2-cycle stuff, but Echo, I haven't really worked on steel stuff, but the higher end stuff, I always say it's worth the money to buy higher end 2-cycle stuff, because I had a 4-cycle Troy built weed eater that was given to me last week. I've cleaned the carburetor out. It's clean as everything. The primer bulb was good on it, and it still took about 100 pulls to start it, and it still wouldn't run right. So just kind of my aside there. This mower in particular, actually, if you see, has the Personal Pace self-propel, but it also has the clutch activated, or a blade clutch on it, excuse me. And what happened was the guy hit a rock. He still cut grass with it, but it's vibrating like crazy, especially with the blade on it, even when the blade clutch is not engaged. So I'm suspecting that it's probably a slightly bent shaft, or the clutch or something, and another's messed up on it. I've never taken a clutch off of one of these before and put it back together, so we're going to try and figure this out together. First off, what I've done is I have taken I can turn it on its side here. Let me do that real quick. Taking the plastic piece off the back here. I think I've taken all the bolts out of it. There's one right there, 2 on the side, 2 on the other side. It's just mirror image. One in the back, and I think it'll come off with a little bit of encouragement. We'll see. Might actually have to put this in the bagging mode in order for it to come off. There we go. Let's see what we have. Everything looks good on it. It's just got to come over that little lip right there. There we go. So I get my garage really dirty, but nothing a little sweeping can't do. And this right here just had some tabs on it that go kind of lock inside the deck there. This should technically pull off. Let me give it a second look here so I don't mess anything up. Okay, so to get this off, we're going to go on this side of the mower. These are all 3/8 inch, by the way. And I'm just doing this just to kind of remove stuff so that I can see the shaft and whatnot a little bit easier. But it's this bolt I'm going to take off. That should get it off for us. Now remember, even though I sometimes cut corners, you take this off. Turn the mower exhaust side down. Might have one more hanging on here somewhere. Let's see. Feels like it. Let's see what else we got over here. I'll keep looking up. Let's see. I reckon it's... Okay, so I think there's one more here. Like I said, we're working along together here. I believe it's the one that actually attaches to the ground wire there, which also is another issue that I've got to work on. Grounding switch is not working for whatever reason. It's pretty important to turn a mower off. And there we go. So let's look at the clutch setup here, and I'll probably take a picture of it, that way I know how it is set up. That way I can put it back on the correct way if I find that the shaft is not bent to pieces. Get your dry belt here with your clutch assembly, and then your clutch. So what I'm going to do now is take an impact. I think that's a 3/4. We're going to take that off, see what we got. Hopefully I don't have a, well, I'm pretty sure I have a bent shaft, so it's just going to be kind of trying to figure out how to bend it back, which is always a fun option. And another thing, if you notice, is you can't change the oil from the bottom. It still has the 7-horse Briggs, but the drain plug is right over the screw, so it's one of those, it really doesn't make a difference. Tilt it, drain the oil out, change it, instead of being able to use the drain tube or on the bottom of the mower. So I'm going to take an impact of this and get those tools out, and I won't spare the length of the video here doing that. We'll take it off, see what we got. Okay, 7/8 is what that was. Took it off with an impact. Better than trying to hold the flywheel and all that. So let's see what this is going to do here. I might have to pop the clutch off somehow, hoping that it just comes right off, but see if I can get I need 2 hands here. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. Yeah. So what I did there is I've actually engaged the clutch, which tightened the belt, but it allows me to take this off. There's a belt on the back. Comes off. Wish I had a dial indicator to see if the shaft was bent. I think it just may very slightly be bent. Which kind of stinks because there's no good way to really hit it back into place like I sometimes do. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I don't know if you can kind of see a little bit of a curvature right there. That little bitty curvature is causing the issue. as to why it's vibrating on me so much. Let me get your hands dirty. So let me see what I want to do here. I don't really want to hit the shaft, but it looks like I'm going to have to in order to get it back the way it needs to. I don't have a shaft straightener or anything like that. That's the one thing I don't really have a very good solution for what I do. What I'm going to have to do is, I guess I hate to do it, but I hit the threads and I'll just use a tap and die just to re-tap the threads. So let me go ahead and do that, see if I can get it any straighter, and we'll continue. So I gave the shaft a few quick taps off camera just to see if I could get it straightened out a little bit. A lot of times it takes quite a few hits, but I'm going to put it back together just to kind of see what I've got. If I've gotten it any better or any worse or whatever, just because I don't have a clue. Like I said, I don't have a shaft straightener or anything like that, so I'm just trying my best. One thing I wanted to note is that you have to kind of use a little bit of a combination of turning the blade clutch on and turning it off just to kind of finagle the belt and whatnot in here. But I just want to make sure that you didn't get the belt, you know, like hung up inside the groove of the clutch. So putting it together now, 7/8 impact. That's in. So as a test run, maybe you have the top piece and the bottom piece here. So as a test run, I'm just going to put all this stuff back on before I put any of the plastic covers and whatnot on. So it goes with that. Let me put this on. And I've already tested the blade to make sure that it was not the blade, and it is not. For a fun fact, if you find a Lawn Boy blade, it's got the same bolt pattern as a Troy Bilt blade, so it's kind of good to know. But we're going to see. These are 9/16 bolts in order to get it back on here. So I have a feeling this is not going to help matters unless I whack the mess out of it, but I have successfully fixed mowers before by doing this method. I don't really recommend it. It's kind of like the best of the worst options that I currently have in my garage setup. So I'll tighten those up, we'll get it out there and run it and see if it's any better. So part of me hates that I didn't do a before video, but it was so bad I didn't even want to run it like it was. Because I didn't want to break the frame on it, honestly. I couldn't run it that long without breaking the frame. But I'll kind of show y'all what it's doing now. And who would have thought that a few taps with a rather heavy hammer would do something? But I looked at the blade, eyeballed it, and it looked like it wasn't bent or anything like that, nor on a different plane or of the like. But let me start it up and let me show you all how it runs. Of course, it's going to roll down the hill now. And also, I got the kill switch fixed. What happened with the kill switch is that it broke off here, so I'm just going to drill another hole right here in the handle. You just put the kill switch back on so that it works properly, and put all the plastic stuff back on. Give this thing a nice oil change and probably a new air filter, and probably have a good, decent mower here. Let me show y'all that it runs and that the blade engages and everything. As you can see, the vibration is all but gone. You can tell by kind of how little the pull rope's moving. So that's it for the night. I got some house projects to do before it gets too late. And I'm gonna pick this up on another day. We'll get this thing cleaned up, put it all back together, and button it up and make it look nice and send it on down the line. This is a much easier fix than I thought. So, like I said, I wish I'd have done it before, but the engine was vibrating so bad I didn't even want to run it on the frame for risk of cracking the frame. So let me put it back in the garage for the night. We'll pick up on it either tomorrow or another day. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up here. Like I said, I wish I could have shown y'all a video of it running before I got the shaft straightened, but I didn't want to run it just because, number one, it was vibrating the deck like crazy and I didn't want to break the deck on it. Number two, the kill switch didn't work at the time that I got it, and so I was having to pull the plug, and it was just a very dangerous task that I didn't want to repeat. But I did get the switch fixed and remounted onto a new, I drilled a hole, got it remounted. It now works. The problem with the kill switch that some people might run into, especially if you have an engine that vibrates, on these Toros, it looks like the kill switch wire goes right here and grounds to the exhaust shield. So this bolt was actually loose. So if your kill switch goes out, check your ground. If it's not the switch, that's probably what it is. Clean out the air filter. I'll give you a look under the deck before I start it. Sharpen the blade. Deck is in good shape. It was used to cut a pretty lush fescue lawn. Pretty small lawn from what I could tell whenever I picked it up. I'd probably list it for $200 if didn't have the holes in the bag here, but since it's got the holes in the bag, I listed it for $180. We'll see how it goes. We've had pretty dry weather the past couple weeks, so it'll probably be a little slow to sell. But all in all, decent mower. Seems to run good. Clutch and everything works on it. So again, got some wear on it, and I wish I could have shown y'all the before video, but it just wasn't really safe for me to run it again after I discovered the problem. So let's start it up. I didn't have to do anything to the carburetor or anything on this, so let's engage the blade. So you can hear it's running better now because it's got a load on it. These engines don't particularly run they run 100%, but they surge a little bit when there's no load on it. So and it's very quiet. Self-propel works. This self-propel is actually pretty fast too. So again, kill switch. So I got everything working properly on it. Hopefully it'll fetch some decent money for me. Again, I have pretty much $0 in it, apart from the transport cost, which I got a bunch of other stuff with, so it's kind of negligible, especially since I only had to drive about 30 miles out of the way. I was able to put in my little car, so it's kind of a little bonus video for y'all this season. I know I haven't really posted very much. I've had a lot going on, but I appreciate the loyal followers. I see that I'm getting very close to 1,000 subscribers. If I get there, it'll be really kind of cool to be able to monetize the channel and make whatever little money I could make, which was not the original goal of this channel, and never will be. It's just mostly to inform y'all of issues and mowers that I get in and how to deal with customer return merchandise and things like that. So I'm hoping, I haven't really had much going on in terms of sales of the electric and cordless stuff. I have gotten rid of a couple other things, but nothing really to make another video on. What I'm toying around with before I get rid of everything, if I have the time, I'd like to make a video to see how long the battery life is on those Black & Decker 20 volts. So we'll see if I can get around to doing that, because I really would like to keep the content up on the channel for y'all, since I do have quite a few loyal followers of the channel, and also those, I mean, give me feedback. I love feedback, hopefully, and pointers to hopefully make what I do a little bit better. Hopefully I've gotten a little bit better since the start of the channel in terms of, one, fixing mowers, and two, just video quality and explaining things. So thank you all again for watching. This will be number 50, I believe 52 for the year, whenever it gets sold. So thank you all again. I'll see y'all in the next one.